Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Jason Live, and I serve as the President and CEO of the Gardner Chamber of Commerce. It is my honor to moderate today's forum. On behalf of the Johnson County Public Policy Council, the collaboration of all 10 local chambers of commerce, thank you for joining our candidate event featuring the race for Johnson County Commission District 6. I'd like to begin by sharing the format for our forum this afternoon, which will include the 3-minute opening statements by the candidates, a moderating question and answer period, during which candidates will each have 1.5 minutes to respond, followed at the end by a 2-minute closing statement. The format, questions, and time limits will be the same for both candidates. There will be no follow-up questions, formal rebuttal time, or audience participation. Candidate speaking order has been randomly determined with the candidates and will rotate throughout the program. Now, if everyone please take a moment, make sure all cell phones are silent. We will begin. First, I'll introduce our candidates in alphabetical order, with a reminder that this is a nonpartisan race. District 6 includes DeSoto, Edgerton, Gardner, and western portions of Olathe and parts of Spring Hill. First, Shirley Allenbrand. Shirley was born and raised in Olathe, Kansas, and is working and serving in communities since she was 14. She's worked as an owner and operator of senior care facilities and has served as a developer and consultant for businesses ranging from healthcare, golf course clubhouses, and commercial residential design. Shirley resides in Olathe with Chase and Scout, her Havanese dogs. Shirley raised 2 children in Johnson County and later welcomed a stepdaughter into the family. Next, Mike Storm. Mike is a 4th-generation Kansan and a 40-year resident in Johnson County. Mike and his wife, Jenny, have been married for 22 years and have 3 daughters who have grown up in the Olathe School District. Mike proudly served in the United States Navy and has owned several small businesses in Johnson County. We'll start with our opening statements. As I mentioned, we'll go in randomly determined order, starting with Shirley Allenbrand first. So 3 minutes, Shirley, for your opening statement.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here today. My name is Shirley Allenbrand, and it has been my honor and my pleasure to serve as your 6th District County Commissioner for the past 4 years. Every year, Johnson County government puts out a survey, and that satisfaction has overwhelmingly in Johnson County made this a great place to live, work, and to raise a family. I'm running again to make sure we continue moving in the same direction. My background in healthcare and small businesses have given me the invaluable experience and insight to help Johnson County be safe and a place that we all love. I'm looking forward to maintaining the lowest county mill levy in Kansas. And again, we can do better, and I have my promise that we can. We need to continue to invest in public safety, addressing mental health concerns, and leading balanced economic growth. As your candidate in this race, with my experience of the county, I am best qualified to serve in this commission seat.
Thank you. Mike, 3 minutes.
Mike Storm, I'd like to thank you for the invite today. Shirley for showing up. I've been married for 22 years to a wonderful woman that I met here in Johnson County. I've been here I raised Kane here. I've raised Heck here, I guess you could say. I've raised my family here. I've done everything I can to participate in any activities around the community. I've always been a kind of a live here kind of guy, kind of stumbling here because I didn't prepare a stick that way. I wanted to be completely from the heart. I wanted you guys to know that all I want for Johnson County is the best. I want my kids to be able to live here, not be priced out for tax and spend that the county's been doing lately. I want to do everything I can to make it affordable for seniors where they feel comfortable, that they don't feel like they're going to have to leave their home in order to stay here or in order to survive. I just want to do what I can in any way I can be useful. That's my statement.
Thanks, Mike. We'll move to our question and answer section of the forum. Again, candidates will have 1.5 minutes to respond. And again, we'll rotate the speaking order. So this time, Mike, you will be first. First question, being as specific as you can, what would you describe as the top functions of county government and how would you prioritize them?
Top functions of county government. For safety, they should give us good, safe drinking water, good, safe streets. They should give us affordable housing if they can do it. There should be a confidence that we should have that our county is going to be there for our students, for our citizens, whether they're at the top of the tier or at the bottom of the tier. They all should have a voice. They should all be covered.
Okay, thank you. Shirley, same question. Being as specific as you can, what would you describe as the top functions of county government, and how would you prioritize them?
Well, my top 5 is first transparency and stewardship of the public dollars. Public safety, that includes the sheriff's department, district attorney, ambulance, fire, emergency preparedness, and dispatch. Public health and awareness, and with mental health, has to be a continued top priority with child care licensing, aging services, and health and environment. Preserving our quality of life, our libraries, our parks, our arts, contractor licensing, permitting, public works, and wastewater. It's important to maintain our bridges, our roads, and our airports. Regionalism is important to collaborate with other areas, for example, Mark, to continue to look at our county and partnering together, whether it be with a developer, it would be city, chambers, or other organizations.
Thank you. Question 2, and this time, Shirley, we'll start with you. What is your philosophy and approach to managing the county budget?
The budget is a complex beast. I call it a beast to look at. We in 2023, over $480 million we lost out of dollars to help provide services to our jails, our DA's office, our licensing. We continue to work. Some of the things I have done, I have supported the low mill levy. It's the lowest mill levy in the state of Kansas. But yes, we have to do better. One of the things that we have been working on and that I have implemented was having a company come in, and we're working on that now, to look at every single line item within our budget and see if that's the best way to spend our money. Is there other ways that we can get money by? I'm a firm believer that if there's dollars available on federal and state grants, I'm going to go for those to keep them in Johnson County, and that's important. I think we can do better. I'm going to continue to work and look at consolidating services. I consolidated the fire stations. I will continue to work in the zoning boards, planning commission, to see how we can do better. And that you would have my promise if you re-elect me for the next 4 years that I plan on getting that done. Thank you.
Mike, what is your philosophy and approach to managing the county budget?
We must do what's right for our Johnson County residents. I would vote to continue providing top quality services while also finding ways to do relief for county residents in our tax system. Property taxes are getting out of control and hurting both residents and businesses. We have a proven record in Johnson County for doing what's right. I think that we've done a lot for Johnson County. I would like to see it do better.
Thank you. Next question. Mike, we'll begin with you. There's been much discussion about metro area regionalism. Please describe your views on regional cooperation.
I think we need to find a balance in Johnson County. We've always been the leader. When I was a kid here, we've always achieved marks, and we've always enjoyed the finer things. I think it's fine to reach across the state line and work with with partners over on that side, but I also don't want to lose our identity.
Thank you. And Shirley, again, question. There's been much discussion about metro area regionalism. Please describe your views on regional cooperation.
Regionalism is very important to inclusive quality of life. We have to work together. A lot of the federal dollars that go through Mark, we need to continue to work with our region to find better solutions, whether it be quality of life, are those state and federal tax dollars. I have volunteered to be with the World Cup coming in 2005. That's a program that's being put on through Mark and through other organizations, and I intend on keeping those programs here in our county. So I've been working with the Farm Bureau, with the chambers, with economic development in each one of the cities that I have within my district. And I will continue to bring those tax dollars and bring that tourism into our county. The other thing that's most important is the quality of water, working with other neighbors to see how we can do better. Transportation is another issue within our county, especially in the district of 6th District, trying to get from point A to point B. It's important. Emergency services, 9/11 came from Mark. It's very important to work with others to come to a common goal.
You mentioned economic development. We're staying with you for the next question. What do you believe the role of the county should be in economic development?
Well, I'm a big believer in workforce. I'm a big believer that the Chamber of Economic Development is the backbone of our communities. I started very early. My family, it was our philosophy to get involved in your community. When I first started working at a young age, I worked with the Olathe Chamber, helped with George Slagle, and now I'm going back in time with my age, but we started the economic development arm of the Olathe Chamber. It was exciting. It's very important to create businesses and to work through those growing businesses to provide workforce, housing, daycare. I have been very actively working with different developers and doing partnerships with the schools, the land developers, the cities, and the county for workforce housing. That is something that is the expanding the workforce, creating partners. I've been very active through K-12, through Johnson County Community College. I've also been very active in the Olathe School Foundation, and I continue to work with Edgerton Gardner on their schools along with DeSoto. As you know now, Gardner Edgerton has 4 Blue Ribbon schools. The more businesses we have here, we had created over 5,000 jobs just in District 6 alone, all the way from front workers to 63 new engineers at Honeywell, bringing development here. Garmin bringing their watch battery here. Economic development is better, and it also reduces the tax burdens.
Thank you. And Mike, again, the question, what do you believe the role of the county should be in economic development?
I think that the commission should participate. I think the commission should participate in the development of jobs through using JCCC, OJT positions, anything we can do to. We also should raise our children to where they can stay here. Our taxes are getting priced out. Our kids are having to leave. My daughter graduated from Olathe West 3 years ago, and she's not been able to find a suitable house because she's afraid of the tax system. So I think that we need to work harder at saving our kids, raising them, training them, keeping them home. I think that would be a bigger benefit than obviously taxing them out.
All right, our next question, Mike, will stay with you. Can you please describe your views on balancing the distribution of costs and services between incorporated and unincorporated areas of Johnson County?
I think that in unincorporated Johnson County, they've always been on the back shelf. They've always been the last to get anything. We always prioritize the city, and since it's out the country, I think that they just get overlooked. Always have since we moved back here from Mississippi in 1977. Johnson County has always treated Gardner and Edgerton as the armpit, if you will, of Johnson County, and they get the last of everything. And I'm wanting to prioritize them a little bit. I'm from here, for here. I grew up here in Gardner and Edgerton. Tell you where all the creeks are. I can tell you where all the bodies are, kind of thing. So I want to prioritize the 6 that I can. Okay, thank you.
Again, the question to you, Shirley. Can you please describe your views on balancing the distribution of costs and services between incorporated and unincorporated areas of Johnson County?
Well, first of all, one of the things that I've done as a county commissioner, I meet every single month with the mayors and the city managers of every city. Also meeting with the Farm Bureau and working with them along with staff to figure out, okay, what are your needs? We have a CARS program that we work with the city, and that's a partnership between the city and the county. But there's also other things that we can be doing. We have been very actively working on roads in the unincorporated area. I continue to meet with families out there to try to provide solutions for them, to their homes, to their roads, even as going as much as a school bus, having a school bus transportation in the unincorporated area. We have now put into place, we're working on broadband out in the unincorporated area. We've designated dollars under my commission as I've been in this seat. We now are working towards getting internet out into the unincorporated area. It's very important. There are people out there that can't even have a ring bell. So we're working on that. We were able to get it in the city of Spring Hill and also in the unincorporated area, but it stops there. I mean, they literally have no internet. Keeping our libraries out there so people can go and actually work and do school work in the libraries is vitally important. So I have made a full commitment and continue to make a commitment to the farmland owners out there, providing not only ag tourism, which was created by the state, and that is protected by the state, but also landowners, those who want to do solar or who want to take up the ag tourism.
Shirley, we'll stay with you on this one. Again, you just mentioned this, but what are your views on development of the renewable energy industry in the county?
Well, I had a gentleman come up to me, and it was in the Farm Bureau, and I have regular meetings there, and I go out and visit the ag tourism that we have around our county, not only in my district, but all around the county. Again, that's a program that was set up by the state, and he wants to provide solar on his land. And he wants to be able to keep his land within his family. And I'll never forget, gentleman was probably in his late 80s, cowboy hat. He goes, "Little lady, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do with my land." And I said, "No, sir, I'm not. And I'm going to fight for you that if you decide that you want to have solar on your property and you want to have to continue with vegetation, continue having farm elements, because he wants to then give it back to his great-grandkids." I'm a very big supporter of that. I helped with the regulations for solar. I continue to work on broadband and the unincorporated area in parts of our county that don't have it.
Good. Mike, and the question is, what are your views on development of the renewable energy industry in the county?
I think renewable energy has a place in Johnson County for sure. I think that we should do it in a manner that we ask the residents what they think. We should take a survey, find out how they feel about it. I mean, you don't want to open can of worms and get our cart before our horse. A little bit like recent with homeless shelter. It's the permit there. I think that we should do a little bit of extra effort in listening instead of talking.
Thank you. And Mike, we'll stay with you for the next question. What role do you believe the county can play, if any, in addressing the local worker shortage?
I talked about that earlier. My nerves are killing me, just so you guys are fully aware. But we need to address things like our children, the kids that are already here, that are already from here. We want them to stay here. We should train them in jobs that are prioritized, that would benefit the community and give them opportunity to see the American dream for themselves, where they can own pride and ownership, house, affordable housing, true housing. That's it. Thank you.
I'll repeat the question for you, Shirley. What role do you believe the county can play, if any, in addressing the local worker shortage?
I think the county, I think we have done a great job in partnerships with the governor and bringing economic development into our community. Not only has it been the governor, but it's also been on a Senator Moran bringing Honeywell Aeronautics, bringing 83 new jobs for engineers. Panasonic, over 4,400 jobs. Flora Vegetation that just broke ground out at New Century Airport, another 500 jobs. I just went through this past couple of days just counting up nearly 5,000 jobs. And we're talking about jobs that start at $25 an hour at Amazon with a $1,000 sign-in bonus. We're talking about Panasonic starting at $31.50 with benefits. And you talk to people that were homeless. I have talked to somebody that was working at Hostess Cupcake and lived in a park. He got to the point that he was able to get to work. He lived in his car. And then now he actually is a supervisor and paid off all of his debts. And he is probably somebody that I really, really look up to. Homes, the problem is we don't have enough homes. That's why our property taxes, I wish I could change the property tax, but that is a formula that's set by the state. But what I can do is continue to work on workforce housing, and that is working with Habitat for Humanity. We have 14 homes right now. And in Olathe, we have another 25 getting ready to open up, and then daycare. And I'm out of time, so I could go on forever. I'm sorry.
Great. Our final question before our closing statements. Shirley, we'll start with you. What do you believe most distinguishes you from your opponent in this race?
I believe, I have lived my whole life in Johnson County. I started working at an early age of age 14, detasseling corn on my grandfather's farm. The next worst job I had was doing dishes in a dishwasher, in a dishwashing situation in a nursing home. My parents had health issues. I went to 5 different elementary schools in grade school because it wasn't because my parents moved out of state. It's because they had to find the cheapest rent. I know what it's like, and I feel the pain, and I'm going to do everything I can to continue to work on the budget, which I feel like I've done that. And I think you can see that by my voting and what I've been doing publicly in the community. I'm a listener. I held a lot of roundtable discussions with people. I meet with the Farm Bureau. I will continue to do that. If you have a problem, call me. I had a gentleman call me in Douglas County about a railroad situation. I will continue to have strong leadership, and I feel like that I'm the most qualified for this job. And I feel like the things we really haven't talked about is what's going on with the great airport at New Century, the economic development that's going on. There's so many things that we don't talk about and how lucky we are to live here. But we do have to do better. And that's what you have from me as a guarantee I will do better.
And thank you. And Mike, again, what do you believe most distinguishes you from your opponent in this race?
Talk is cheap. We do a lot of talking in politics. I find that people are tired of talking. They want people to do what they say they're going to do. And what distinguishes me is, as you can tell, I'm not a very big talker. I prefer to just work, get the job done. And I've proved that over years and years of life. Yeah. Through business, through school, through whatever I've ever done, I just put my nose down and just quick talking, get the job done. Good. Thank you.
Now we'll move on to the closing statements. Candidates will each have 2 minutes to present your closing statement, given in reverse order from our opening statements. And again, please be sure to highlight what distinguishes you most from your opponent. So, reverse order from our opening statement. Mike, we'll start with you first as your closing statement for 2 minutes.
Sure. Well, I'm not a very big talker, as I've already told you, but let me explain this. I'm not running against my opponent. Commissioner Allenbrand, I appreciate the work you've done for 4 years. I'm not running against her. I'm running for something. I'm running for the integrity of our county, my area specifically. I ran around these streets before some of them were even streets. Most of them are still gravel back when I first moved here. I started right across the street from Panasonic at a little school called Sunflower Elementary. And it was the barracks, I guess, for the ammunition plant originally. But no, we were poor. We didn't have much. We just worked. That's all I've ever known. Coming from a dairy farm my great-grandmother had in Drexel, Missouri, to living up here, and I've never left. And I've lost friends here. I've lost family members here. This place means the world to me, and I'm going to fight for every bit of it.
Thank you. Shirley, closing statement.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for coming out here today and learning more about the candidates of the county commission. It's great to see that people in our community really care. I'm not a talker. I think that you heard today a clear distinction between both of us. I'm the only candidate in this race who knows the county departments and services well enough to lead. I'm the only candidate who understands how to manage a public budget. I think I've distributed that through my past work with healthcare communities, hospital organizations, Johnson County Community College, just to name a few. I'm excited to continue to keep working at Johnson County. I continue to vote for a lower mill levy, and I will continue to work and do better on that. I invest in public safety, support mental health, and continue to balance economic growth. Johnson County will continue to be a great place to live, work, and play, and to raise a family. We can do better, and you have my promise that I will if I'm elected. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our forum for Johnson County Commission District 6. Let's thank our candidates for participating in today's program. On behalf of all Johnson County Public Policy Chambers of Commerce, thank you for taking advantage of this important opportunity to learn about the candidates. For more information about the candidates, videos of candidate forums, and advanced voting details, visit www.votejoco.com, and please share this voter resource with your colleagues, family, and friends. Thank you, everyone.